The burden is mine. I will take the ring.
Three rings for the elven kings under the sky. 7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone. 9 for mortal men doomed to die. 1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne, in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. 1 ring to rule them all, 1 ring to find them. 1 ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. In the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie. This is the War of the Ring.
Hello there! Name's Varin, and Gandalf himself sent me to teach you the basics.
Greetings! Are you the beginners in need of assistance?
I am no beginner, nor do I need assistance, especially from the likes of an elf.
Why, it's a loud, obnoxious dwarf. How unusual. I, my friend, am Belenthrond, an elf from Lothlorien. I have been sent by Gandalf to assist in the instruction of the novice.
I was sent by Gandalf!
Apparently he thought you might need some help.
By Thorin's beard! What was that wizard thinking sending an elf to work with a dwarf?
Perhaps you are to teach the simple tasks, while I explain the finer details. Why don't you start off, dwarf?
All right, let's begin. First, you will learn how to move the game camera. You can scroll the view up, down, left, or right by using the arrow keys on your keyboard. Try it now. Yes, that's it.
You can also adjust the game view by moving the cursor to one edge of the screen.
Calm down, elf. I was getting to that. Like the elf points out, moving your cursor to the edge of the screen will scroll the view in that direction. Try it now. If you have a middle mouse button or mouse wheel, you can scroll the view more quickly by holding it down and moving the mouse. Try it now. The mini-map in the lower left area of the screen gives you a strategic view of the entire battlefield. You can also move the camera to a specific location on the map instantly by left-clicking that spot on the mini-map. Look at the location indicated on the mini-map. That is a Gondor swordsman who has arrived on the battlefield. Left-click at the indicated location on the minimap. See how the game camera instantly moves to that location? You may also left-click and drag over the minimap to quickly scroll your view. Try it now. Well, that about does it for the game camera. Let's move on to selecting your units. You select units by moving the mouse cursor over the desired unit and left-clicking. To select the Gondor Swordsman, move the mouse cursor over him and left-click. Well done! Now look at the central portion of the interface at the bottom of the screen. There you will see information about the unit you have selected. This central area of the interface is called the Selection Panel. The Selection Panel provides all sorts of information depending on what you have selected. Now you will learn how to select more than one unit at a time. Notice that more Gondor swordsmen have arrived on the battlefield. Hold down the left mouse button and drag the mouse over the terrain to create a selection box. Create the selection box around all the units you wish to select. Release the left mouse button to select the units in the box. Good! Ha!
You may also hold down the Shift key when left-clicking to select multiple units.
Yes. Either way is fine. To unselect units, simply left-click on an empty area of terrain. Try it now. Remember, anytime you wish to select or unselect your units, you do so by clicking the left mouse button. Now that you have learned how to select units, you should learn how to move them. With the Gondor Swordsman selected, move the cursor to an open area on the terrain and right-click. Next comes my favorite part, attacking the enemy. Look at the minimap. See those red dots? That's the enemy, a bunch of filthy goblins. Select all your Gondor swordsmen and move them to the enemy's location. Ho! Yes, that's it. You can order your units to attack a specific enemy by right-clicking on that enemy. Destroy all of the lowly goblins now. Well done. By default, when you give your units a move order, they will go straight to the location and ignore enemies along the way. You can have your units automatically engage enemies they encounter by issuing an attack move command. Look at your mini-map. You will notice that several more goblins have arrived in the area. Give your units an attack move command to that location by holding down the control key when you right-click to move them. They have no chance! See how they automatically attack the enemy when they approach them? Splendid! Well, I must say that you are catching on very quickly. If you feel you need more instruction, please try the next tutorial. Maybe the elf will have gone by then.
Oh, I don't think so.
Your enemy is vanquished.
Welcome back, my friend!
Why, thank you.
Not you, elf! I meant... oh, never mind. Let's get back to work, shall we? Now you will learn the basics of constructing and maintaining a war camp.
Certainly.
You should see a worker in the center of your screen. Workers are very important because they collect the resources necessary to build your war camp. They also construct the buildings that make up the war camp.
I shall go.
Select the worker. Notice that when you select the worker, a build menu appears in the selection panel.
Excuse me, but this next part is quite complicated.
I shall do it.
I believe one with superior wits should explain it.
If you will allow me?
What? I have yet to meet an elf with wits greater than a cave troll.
To resume, workers construct all of your buildings. Notice that when you select the worker, a build menu appears in the selection panel. This menu displays all buildings a worker can construct. Buildings whose icons are dimmed cannot be constructed yet. Initially, only the stronghold can be constructed. Left-click the stronghold icon now. Now, move the cursor over the
I shall
terrain.
go.
When the cursor is over an area where the stronghold can be constructed, you will see an image of the building. If you see any red areas in the footprint of the building, you cannot build in that spot and must choose a new location. You can change the rotation of the building with the left and right bracket keys. Once you have found an acceptable location for the stronghold, right-click to order the worker to construct it.
A
Excellent.
building has been completed.
At your command.
The stronghold is required to build all other structures. Select the stronghold by left-clicking on it. When you select the stronghold, notice a menu appears in the right portion of the interface at the bottom of the screen. This section of the interface is called the Action Panel. The Action Panel displays
to work.
available actions depending on what you have selected. With the stronghold selected, the Action Panel displays the units that can be trained within this building. Initially, you can only train workers here.
Ready to work.
Produce a worker by left-clicking on his icon in the menu. Good. Now train 2 more workers from the stronghold. You do not have to wait for the first worker to finish his training before training the second. Just left-click on the worker icon twice. You will notice that the second worker has been put into the training queue. He will begin training as soon as the first one is finished.
Ready to work.
Very good. Despite your previous training, you have done very well.
Orders?
Ah, your explanation was adequate.
do it.
Ready
Next,
you will learn how to gather resources that...
Just a minute, Bellathorian, or whatever your name is. This is my area of expertise. Now why don't you take it easy while I impart my wisdom to the novice here?
Very well, if you insist.
I do! You must gather resources to construct
Yes?
buildings and produce units. One essential resource is ore. You will notice an ore deposit near the location of your stronghold. Select a worker, then right-click on the deposit to instruct him to mine the ore. That's right. You will notice that the worker carries loads of ore from the deposit to the stronghold. Workers drop off all the resources they collect at the stronghold. The other essential resource is food.
Ready.
To make food, you must construct a mill.
Certainly.
Mills must be built on wells to produce food. You should see an ancient well near the stronghold you constructed.
A building
Select
has
a
been
worker,
completed.
then left-click on the mill icon in the selection panel. Now move the mouse cursor over the ancient well. You should see an image of the mill overlaid on top of the well. Click to construct the mill. Now that you have a mill, you can build a foundry on the ore deposit.
At your
A
command.
foundry enables your workers to mine more efficiently. With a worker selected, left-click the foundry icon in the selection panel. Now move the cursor over the ore deposit and right-click. Excellent! Now your workers will be able to mine the ore more efficiently. You can order several workers to gather resources from the mill or foundry to increase the rate of collection. If you look above the action panel, you will see numbers to indicate how much ore and food you currently have collected. I know! There's more than 2 numbers down there. Go on, explain what it is.
Ready to work.
Tell our friend about the population limit.
It will be my pleasure to do so. Above the action panel, you see 3 icons with numbers next to them. From left to right, these icons represent your population, food collected, and ore collected. You already know about food and ore. I will explain population. The population is represented by 2 numbers. The first is your current population, and the second is your population limit. Every time you create a new unit, your current population number will increase. Some units place a greater burden on population, and thus will increase the current population count by more than 1. When your current population reaches the population limit, you will not be able to train any more units. You can increase your population limit by constructing camps. We will construct a camp next. This will also give me an opportunity to teach you about another important matter. Compared to the enemy, our numbers are small and we must stay close together. For safety, we must construct our buildings near each other. Select a worker, then left-click on the camp icon in the selection panel. Notice the colored area on the terrain around your stronghold. This indicates the valid area where you can construct your new camp. Right-click over a valid terrain location to construct the camp. Construct the camp now. Good. With a few exceptions, most buildings must be constructed within range of other buildings. Remember the mill you built earlier?
At once.
Resource structures such as the mill do not have this requirement.
What about the stronghold? That doesn't produce resources.
No, but it is the first structure that can be built. What other building would it be constructed near?
You've got a point.
Yes, I do. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. You've constructed a camp.
What is your wish?
Notice that the population limit has increased. The more camps you construct, the more units you will be able to control at one time. Now, order a worker to construct a barracks, just as you did the camp. Construct a barracks.
At once.
The barracks can create units that will fight.
Fight! Fight! Where?
Go back to sleep, dwarf. May I continue? Now,
At your
friend,
service.
select the barracks. Train 3 Gondor swordsmen in the barracks by left-clicking on the Gondor swordsman icon in the action panel.
Away.
Remember, you can queue multiple units to train by clicking the icon several times. Train 3 Gondor swordsmen.
Ready for battle.
A building has been completed.
At your command.
Well
I
done.
shall do it.
Now we shall
camp
put
is
those
under
men to
attack.
good use. Look at the minimap. Notice that some enemies have arrived in the area. Looks like quite a few of them, too. Send your Gondor swordsmen into battle and eliminate the enemy.
A building
Yeah!
has been
To
completed.
battle!
If all your swordsmen fall in battle, train more. Keep gathering resources and training Gondor swordsmen until all the enemies are defeated.
Orders?
Ready for battle.
We are under attack.
I shall do it.
Excellent.
Ready for battle.
What a skirmish. That was exciting. You have learned much, my friend. That is all for now. If you would like to know about the more advanced aspects of the game, try the next tutorial.
Building has
Yeah!
been completed.
To battle!
Your enemy is vanquished.
Ah, I see you have returned for more instruction.
I saw him approach some time ago.
Ah!
I shall
You're
do it.
still here? Well, this is the last session, so let's just get through this.
Very well.
All right, friend. Pay attention. Notice that you have a basic war camp and a small army. We will use this camp to teach you some of the more advanced aspects of the game.
Ready?
First, you will learn about the power of fate.
At your command.
Fate is a resource of sorts that you earn by engaging the enemy in
Building
combat.
has been completed.
Each time one of your units inflicts damage on an enemy, you gain a small amount of fate. Over time, this adds up to tangible amounts of fate that you can use for a number of purposes. Let's earn some fate, shall
A
we?
building
You
has
should
been
see a
completed.
large enemy force near your location. Dispatch your entire army to drive them out. Yes, my lord? They have no chance!
A building has been completed. We are under attack.
Ready to work.
We are under attack.
Well done! You defeated them, and you earned some fate in the process. Look at the top center of the selection panel.
Ready to work.
See those small round icons? Those represent the amount of fate you have earned. You should have a fair amount after that battle. Now I bet you are wondering, what do I do with fate?
Ready to work.
For one, you can use it to summon powerful heroes to aid your troops in battle. Heroes are summoned from the stronghold. Select the stronghold in your war
Ready
camp.
to work.
Look at the action panel. With the stronghold selected, the action panel displays the heroes that may be summoned. You will eventually be able to summon multiple heroes, but for now, you can only summon Frodo. Summon Frodo now by left-clicking on his icon in the action panel. Excellent.
Yes?
Select the brave ring bearer. Now, look at the action panel. You will notice that some of Frodo's abilities are currently dimmed. You will use Fate to
Ready to
purchase these abilities. If you move your cursor over these abilities, you will get a tooltip indicating how much Fate each ability costs. Purchase the ability called the One Ring by left-clicking on that icon. That's right. Notice that the icon has changed. This ability can now be used. The One Ring ability will turn Frodo invisible.
I'm on my way.
Left-click on the icon again to use it. Very good. For this particular ability, Frodo's health slowly decreases as long as he stays invisible. Have Frodo take off the ring before its power becomes too much for him to bear. Do this by left-clicking the One Ring icon again. Good, good. There is one last thing Fate is used for. Fate powers. These will come in very handy, believe me. Look at the top center area of the selection panel. You will see an orb there. If you left-click on the orb, the action panel will display the Fate powers available to you. Click on the orb now. All right. See the icons that have appeared in the action panel? These are the Fate powers that you have at your disposal. When you move your cursor over each Fate power icon, a tooltip will indicate how much Fate is required to use the power. Some enemies have appeared in the area.
Yes?
Ha! Wanna try using one of your powers? This is gonna be fun. Left-click on the icon for the blind power in the action panel. Now, right-click on the enemies to blind them. That's it! They're blind as bats! You can easily finish them off now. Send your units over to destroy them.
My errand awaits.
My sword is yours. You can easily finish him off now. Send your units over to destroy them. Did you see that, Elf? That was great fun!
Yes, very well done. Perhaps now I should explain the places of power.
Certainly.
The road
Go
leads ever
ahead.
onward.
I'm still enjoying that battle.
Sometimes you will come across special artifacts that are so ancient and rich in history that they can bestow powers upon your army. These are called places of power. Look at the minimap, and you will notice that several more enemies have arrived. These units are controlling a place of power. Send some of your units to attack the enemies at that location. Train more units if need
The
be.
burden is mine. Get them!
We are under attack. You have
Nicely
taken
done.
control of a place
To
of
control the
power.
place
A
of power,
building has
move
been
your units
completed.
close to it. When you gain control over a place of power, its aura will change to the color of your team. Controlling a place of power may give your entire army a benefit. This particular place of power gives all of your units an attack bonus, which means that your units will do more damage to enemies. You do not need to leave your units within this area to maintain control. However, if you leave a place of power unattended, enemies can easily take control away from you. Well, that's it, friend.
Quiet.
That was the last lesson. There is more to be learned from the manual, but your hands-on training is complete.
You should now know enough to hold your own in battle. Good luck and have fun!
Your enemy is vanquished.